We'll rise up for week 3 with a view of the Atlanta Falcon outside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, as the Washington football team arrives to put their 1-1 record to the test against Matt Ryan and the unbeaten Falcons. I'm Cory Puffett. Welcome to 2021 NFL action on EA Sports. We've got a fun matchup today as Atlanta's 7th-ranked offense faces a terrific Washington defensive unit. Both teams made investments in those units' futures this week. The Falcons signed Calvin Ridley to a 4-year extension through 2025 worth more than $68 million in new money, while Washington and defensive tackle Jonathan Allen reached an agreement late in the week on a 4-year, $67 million extension. The Atlanta faithful are ready as their team comes off a 35-23 win against the New York Jets, in which Julio Jones caught 6 passes for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns, nearly as impressive as the subject of our pre-game spotlight. Washington receiver Terry McLaurin caught 8 passes for 192 yards and 2 scores in the football team's come-from-behind 28-24 win in Denver last week. Coach Rivera is ready and pumping his guys up on the sideline, but Atlanta would get the ball to start the first half. Some might say it's too early, but Matt Ryan is already generating buzz as a potential MVP candidate with the early season numbers you see on your screen. Ryan and the Falcons got off to a pretty hot start. He and offseason pickup Jared Cook hooked up to convert this early 2nd and 10. A couple of plays later, Russell Gage comes free on the deep crossing route, makes the catch, jukes out Kendall Fuller, and he's got 27 yards. Washington forced a 3rd and 7 though, and better coverage downfield allows Montez Sweat time to work his way to Ryan. That is a 12-yard loss on the sack. Washington recorded their first 2 sacks of the year last week, and they've got an early one here. Chase Young not far behind Sweat on that pass rush. So the sack pushed Atlanta out of field goal range, and Washington took the field after the punt. Taylor Heinicke threw 2 picks in last week's win. Not ideal, but a far cry from the 5 he tossed in week 1. First halves have not been his forte so far this year. Quickly facing a 3rd and long. Logan Thomas tries to get free toward the sideline, but Heinicke is wide of the mark. There's a penalty, though, and A.J. Terrell is called for pass interference. Looked uncatchable to me, but Washington gets a new set of downs. A 3rd and short now, and Heinicke sees soft coverage outside against McLaurin. Receiver runs a slant. Heinicke delivers it right to him for 13 yards. Quick throw, and that's the former Washington cornerback Quentin Dunbar giving up all kinds of real estate to McLaurin underneath. Another 3rd down, and this one, they won't convert. Dangerous pass by Heinicke, an impressive job for McLaurin even to get his hands on it before Dunbar knocked it free. From 51 yards away, Dustin Hopkins sends it through the uprights. And for the first time in 2021, Washington is first on the board. First down for Atlanta, and the 2nd rounder out of Kentucky, Rashad Parker, has 9 yards. But a couple of incompletions later, and Atlanta has gone 3 and out. Washington back out. Antonio Gibson has 5 yards on 2nd down. That's as far as they'd go. So 3 and outs traded. Julio Jones returns to the field. A big day last week against the Jets, but not even targeted yet today. That wouldn't change on this drive. A few plays in, and Atlanta faces 3rd and 1. Parker takes it up the gut for first down yardage, but there's a penalty, and it's against the Falcons again. Calvin Ridley called for the illegal block in the back. 3rd and 1 becomes 3rd and 8. Ryan in the shotgun has Ito Smith out of the backfield, but Washington has the bodies to prevent him from reaching the 24. Take another quick look at the throw and catch, and at Washington's coverage. Fabian Moreau there to make the tackle. Atlanta has to punt again. Antonio Brown takes this one in and tries to create some space, but the Falcons cover it well, and Brown only manages about 11 yards for his trouble. Heinicke comes back on. His guys looking to extend their lead. He's already thrown more than 90 passes this season through 2 games and change. On first down, Antonio Gibson is looking for the edge, and it's all J.J. Norman can do to lunge for the shoestring tackle and limit Gibson to a 10-yard pickup on 2nd and short. Antonio Brown underneath. Heinicke gets it there. Brown hit immediately, but it's a first down. Heinicke drops back, but everyone is covered downfield. He winds up as P.J. Hall gets there. Heineke's going down. The ball is out. Malik Reed, the third-year pro out of Nevada, scoops it and returns it 42 yards for an Atlanta lead. The sideline is going nuts. You hear the crowd is excited. And here's the end of the return by Reed. And then right here you'll see Heineke caught at an awkward angle with the ball behind Hall's back, and it slips from his grasp. Antonio Gibson had 99 rushing yards and 24 receiving yards last week, and you see his season numbers on the ground as he and Heineke lead Washington back onto the field. Logan Thomas is in motion on first down. Here's Gibson outrunning his blocker, but it's a 13-yard pickup on the final play of the first quarter. First play of the second quarter. A quick throw to Gibson picks up 7 yards. A couple plays later, he'll move the chains on the ground. Atlanta forced a 3rd and long. Heineke is going to try to force this one to Kelvin Harmon. He's lucky it's not picked, as it was. Matt Filer was called for a holding, so a completion wouldn't have made much difference. Tress Way comes on to punt, and this one we're showing because of the perfect placement. That one out at the 1-yard line. Terrific punt by the veteran punter. Matt Ryan and his offense haven't had much success today, and now they have to be wary of losing any yards backed up to their own goal line. On first down, they'll give it to the rookie Parker. Washington playing that same risky cover 0 that Melvin Gordon scored on from 94 yards out last week. Parker picked up 8. And then on second down, a good fake by Ryan, and Hayden Hurst gets enough separation for a 14-yard pickup. Ryan is looking over the middle on the next play. He's got Ridley for 17 yards. Then right back to Ridley on first down for a gain of 7. A couple plays later, 3rd and 3. Ito Smith makes his way unchecked through the line and is there for an 8-yard gain. Another look at the big gap in coverage over the middle of that play. Cole Holcomb eventually makes his way over for the tackle, but he's got a first down. So Atlanta's in Washington territory, and now Ryan has Ridley again for 17 yards over the middle. Landon Collins lays a wicked hit on him, but Ridley holds on. A couple plays later, it's 2nd and 6. Ito Smith takes the handoff up the middle. He's slipping tackles left and right until finally Ronald Darby and Jonathan Allen force him to the ground. Shad Parker's done most of the work on the ground so far this season, but Smith would have made the hosts of GMFB proud with that angry run. Washington's attention turns to keeping Atlanta out of the end zone. They force a 3rd and 4. The coverage is good, but so is the blocking. Ryan has time. Moreau a little too soft on the coverage. Russell Gage has a first down to the 1. Ryan's first down pass is pressured and incomplete. Then on second down, Jalen Reeves-Maben breaks through for the stop on Parker on 3rd and goal. Parker again turned away, this time by Collins. Atlanta wants this touchdown, though, so they line up on 4th and goal from the 1. Washington has been vulnerable to that fullback dive in short yardage spots. Denver made it work last week on the goal line, and this time it's Keith Smith punching it in. Washington's sideline disappointed. In all, a 16-play drive that took 7 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock and traversed 99 yards. You get another look at the overhead angle of Smith's touchdown run. With little time remaining, Washington took to the air, finding Thomas for a first down here. That goes into the 2-minute warning. Then coming out of it, Gibson slips by on the screen, and he'll pick up 11. Almost a block in the back there. Couple of incompletions later, it's 3rd and 10. Heineke looks quickly for Gibson on the seam, but he puts too much air on it, and DeMonte KZ is there to pick it off. See on the replay, Gibson never looked for it and in fact kept running downfield even as KZ secured the interception. Time enough for Matt Ryan and the Falcons to try and get at least another 3 points before the half ends. Here he takes the field on the first play. Soft coverage by Darby, and Julio Jones finally has his first scrap of the day. This goes for 21 yards and very nearly a lot more as we get another look at the catch and Darby's tackle. Another first down, and again, good protection, but everything stays covered, and Ryan drops further and further back. Chase Young gets there at first, but he'll only get half a sack because Allen has to come in and clean it up. Atlanta quickly calls a timeout, so no second look at the sack, and they wouldn't even come close to field goal range. Washington decided to take the 14-3 deficit into the half. You see those familiar yards per play from the first half, which has not been kind to Washington in their first 3 games this year. We'll check out the rest of the NFC East in this week's halftime report. The Panthers off to a good start against the Giants in Charlotte. Teddy Bridgewater already has a pair of touchdowns in the contest as they try for a 3-0 start to the season. Out in sunny Southern California, Justin Herbert has a touchdown pass, but the Eagles have cruised to a 19-point lead late in the second quarter. Wentz is having the best day of the season. Jalen Reagor has 2 touchdown receptions. The entire division is on the road this week as we check out action in Minneapolis, where the Cowboys fell to the Vikings on Thursday night. Dalvin Cook led the Vikings offense on a low-volume day for their veteran quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Back to our game, we'll take another look at a couple select moments from the first half and then get into second half action. Washington went 3 and out to begin the second half, and Matt Ryan came out looking for some better protection from his offensive line after a sack derailed their final drive of the first half. Rashad Parker took the opening handoff, powered through a tackle by Fabian Moreau, and picked up 7. On second down, Ito Smith, he did this all day, sneaking out of the backfield, makes the catch. Excellent juke, but Washington has backup, and Smith is dropped after a pickup of 6. Another first down, and Ryan finds Jared Cook for 7 yards out in the flat. On 2nd and 3, Ryan, quick throw to Ridley on the RPO, and he is gone. Kendall Fuller off target trying to break on the ball. Ridley shrugged off that tackle by Reeves-Maybin. Takes it the rest of the way, and the home crowd loves it. Another look at that. Fuller too aggressive, and Ridley does a good job of coming to the ball, and he does the rest with his legs. Washington now on a 21-3 hole, and Atlanta won't be giving any breaks. Gibson dropped for a 2-yard loss on first down. Not sure what number 61 Matt Filer was doing here, but it sure wasn't blocking. If anything, he was blocking Gibson. A quick pass underneath to Terry McLaurin on 2nd and long picks up half of what they need, and then on 3rd and medium, Heineke a little bit off target, but Antonio Brown goes and gets it for the first down. Threw this one almost right to the 4th overall pick out of USC, J.J. Nelson, but Brown saves the play. On first down, McLaurin is going to find just enough space on this in route. A 15-yard gain in the middle of the field. And then he will move the chains again with a 13-yard pickup on the slant and go route on the next play. Man in motion, the line opens up a hole for Antonio Gibson to pick up 8 on first down. Solid tackle by KZ there. And Matt Vernon moves the chains on the next play, the rookie doing a good job in his role. A surgical drive so far, and on the very next play, Heineke sees McLaurin open on the deep in route near the goal line. It's off target, but McLaurin has done this before. Spins, catches it, and A.J. Terrell more interested in going after the errant throw than keeping McLaurin out of the end zone. Take another look here at just how ridiculous a play this was by McLaurin. Matt Ryan is back, and we get a look at his numbers for the day. He's been solid, but even with the 49-yard touchdown on the last drive, he's behind his pace from the first 2 games this year. On first down, Rashad Parker has 9 yards after ducking and weaving through traffic. Ito Smith will convert it on 2nd down. Some crisscrossing patterns on the next play, and that's Russell Gage underneath, catching it for 9.5 yards, setting up 2nd and short. Great coverage forces Ryan to retreat, and Montez Sweat records his 2nd sack of the day. Big play for the Washington defense. We'll get a second look at that here on the replay. Once again, Chase Young just a little late getting there. And he won't get any credit beyond that half sack he has from earlier in the game. The coverage that enabled that sack was solid on 3rd and long, but just as Jonathan Allen finally breaks around the O-line, Kendall Fuller loses track of Jared Cook. He's got a huge gain down the sideline. Big time play by the veteran tight end, playing on a 1-year deal worth less than $1 million. See on the replay, Ryan just able to get this one off thanks to Cook's improvisation when his route was covered. Set up 1st and 10 outside the 25. Atlanta goes back to the run game. Their rookie's got a big hole. Young chases from behind, but nobody's going to catch Parker until he's down near the 10. Skip ahead a couple plays at 2nd and 11. Ryan looking for Ridley in the end zone, but no dice. That is Landon Collins with perfect positioning to turn Atlanta away in the red zone. Late 3rd quarter action. A terrific throw here to McLaurin on the slant, taking advantage of the space. McLaurin had to turn upfield. A couple plays later, that's a very dangerous pass by Heineke. Targeting Kelvin Harmon, he does a good job just to get his hands on it. The result of the throw didn't matter though. Grady Jarrett was called for roughing the passer. Washington picks up a free 15 yards. 1st down across midfield. Gibson has space to operate on the screen. That will go for a 12-yard gain, and Washington allowed the final 20 some seconds to expire. Still a lot of work to be done, but they put together one touchdown drive and are moving the ball well on this drive. First play of the 4th quarter. Brown and Heineke not exactly on the same page, but they'll make this play work for an 18-yard gain inside the 15. Next play, the rookie out of Tennessee, Greg Kennedy, does just enough to keep Jarrett off Gibson, and the Memphis product will drive all the way across the goal line.
Gibson, ball carrier. Touchdown, Washington.
Here's a second look. Jarrett diving in vain and Gibson powering into the end zone through KZ and Dunbar. Trailing by 5, Washington lines up to go for 2, and why not go back to Gibson? Foyesade Oluwakan gets into the backfield, but Gibson outruns him, and Washington now within a field goal. And as with all scoring plays, we'll give that one a second look. Avid NFL fans remember that second half collapses were a staple of the Atlanta Falcons in 2020. Matt Ryan needs to shake off that interception. This, on 1st down, will be a good start. Jared Cook on the pivot has room for 10 yards and 1st down. It went downhill from there, though. Chase Young can't bring Ryan down, but now he's scrambling, and Matt Ioannidis gets him for about a 3-yard loss. That play looked broken from the beginning, and the next play is even worse. It's Ioannidis again reaching Ryan, this time right through the middle of the offensive line. And on 3rd and 25, Ryan gets it to Parker, and he'll pick up a big chunk. But ultimately, it was just too far to go, and Atlanta had to punt. Washington with a chance now to take the lead. On 2nd and 10, Gibson shakes free on the angle route for 13 yards. Then, facing another 2nd and 10, Logan Thomas breaks free over the middle. Tavon Wilson almost snuck in there to knock it away, but Heineke Houdini'd that through for a 1st down. Next play, Heineke's looking for Thomas again on the drag route, and he's got space to turn upfield. That one goes for 17 yards. Next play, Antonio Brown, having his biggest day of the season so far, catches it underneath and then draws a face mask penalty on the tackle by Kendall Sheffield. In the red zone now, Gibson picks up 8 yards on 1st down. Then McLaurin will pick up another 8 on the 2nd down bubble screen. Atlanta gave up no more ground, though, and on 3rd down, Heineke looks for McLaurin in the end zone, but that's incomplete. And we'll get a great second angle on the replay of McLaurin and Dunbar working against each other, fighting for the ball. McLaurin lands out of bounds before either had sole possession, so Dustin Hopkins comes on, and this is a tie ball game with less than 6 minutes in regulation. The Falcons retake the field, having blown an 18-point lead, and we take a glance at Jared Cook's numbers today. He's had a big second half so far. On 1st down, Russell Gage has his 7th catch of the afternoon, this one for 8. Ito Smith moves the chains, and then he's got a huge hole on 1st down, and suddenly the Falcons are at midfield. 1st down from there. Smith gets another catch on the screen. He'll take this one for 11 yards. finally taken down after spinning out of one tackle, and Matt Ryan is over 300 passing yards on the day. Atlanta making quick work, another first down, another pass. This one goes to Jared Cook. He's all alone in the middle third, and the Falcons are inside the 25. Ron Rivera frustrated with the porous defense in the drive, and it wouldn't end there. Next play, Ryan has time Hurst running the corner, and the safety Cameron Curl is late to react. A terrific throw by Ryan preserves the separation Hurst got on the route, and the Falcons have retaken the lead inside of 3 minutes to go. Grady Jarrett loves that on the sideline. And we'll take another look at that play. No time to fool around. Taylor Heineke leads his men back out with one goal: get in the end zone, keep the hope of a second early season victory alive. On first down, Atlanta is blitzing and Gordon is open on the screen. He'll take that for 12 yards and get out of bounds to stop the clock. Empty set on second down. Heineke patiently waits for Thomas to get free underneath, and that's 8 yards and out of bounds for the tight end. First and 10. Thomas, another catch, this one in the middle of the field, and Washington will hurry up to get one more play in. This one will be a 9-yard completion to McLaurin on the RPO, swung down by Dunbar, and we hit the 2-minute warning.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
Coming out of that, another empty set, and Gibson runs a hard pivot and has space. He'll cut that upfield. Washington is suddenly inside the 10. Only problem is the clock is stopped again. Another quick look at the separation Gibson got to pick up 30 yards on the play. Washington sets up first and goal. Gibson takes this handoff for just a yard. The clock will run. Second and goal. Deion Jones with good positioning, but again, Heineke somehow threading the needle to Thomas. Thomas and his teammates happy to celebrate that touchdown. And here it is again, just a terrific pass by Heineke. You see on this angle just out of Jones's reach. PAT is good, the game is tied, but there's still 69 seconds and Atlanta has all 3 timeouts. Ryan will be well over 350 passing yards if he can lead a game-winning drive here. On first down, he finds Cook in the flat, and he'll eventually duck out of bounds after picking up 8. Second down, Ryan finds Cook again for 12 yards. Atlanta in the hurry-up. Nothing available downfield, and the defense swarms to Ito Smith. They'll limit him to 4 yards. Washington locked down after that, and on 3rd and 6, Smith will have this catch right there, but his momentum carried him way backwards. Cole Holcomb takes him down for a 2-yard loss. With so little time remaining, both teams let the clock wind, and we've got some free football this week. Washington won the toss and took the ball first. Quickly facing a 3rd down, there's Gibson with his 10th catch of the day out of the backfield. A few plays later, though, it's 3rd and 11, and Heineke's protection breaks down before he can find anywhere to go with the ball. Deion Jones drops him. On 4th and 19, Washington forced to punt. Atlanta will have a chance to win with a field goal, except that's a huge mistake by Jalen Hawkins. Running into the kicker would just be a 5-yard penalty and replay 4th down, but the official calls roughing. That's an automatic first down for Washington. 2nd and 7 after a short yard by Gibson. Heineke finds Thomas across the line, indicating Hopkins' field goal range. A couple plays later, we haven't seen him do this much, but Heineke can run when he needs to. Took the snap, quickly spun out of the pocket, and ran for 12 yards. You'll see on the replay, not the most graceful of slides, but he moved the chains and protected himself and the ball. A few plays later, 3rd and 4. Dangerous pass intended for Kelvin Harmon, but it falls incomplete. The Panthers attempted to ice Dustin Hopkins, but the veteran kicker has ice in his veins, and he knocks this one through.
Makes this Washington 31, Falcons 28.
Rivera dabs him up on the sideline and gets set to kick off. But wait a second. The official signaled the end of the game? Madden must have a glitch that counted the punt as a change of possession despite the penalty negating the play, and my interpretation of the overtime rules, linked to in the description, suggests that the Falcons should have had another chance to possess. But Washington will officially get the win. By the time it was said and done, Washington led in passing yards and rushing yards and overcame that first quarter fumble 6. Atlanta falls to 2-1 and will travel to East Rutherford to face the Giants next Sunday, while Washington will return to FedEx Field to host Nick Mullins and the New Orleans Saints. Time for our weekly trip around the NFL, starting with the best from Week 2. We just saw Matt Ryan throw for 371 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was coming off NFC Offensive Player of the Week honors. On the AFC side, Cam Newton and Kenneth Murray Jr. were both repeat winners from Week 1. Week 3 began Thursday night in Cleveland, where the Patriots scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to come from behind and win 28-24. Cam Newton was sacked 6 times in the game and threw 2 picks in the first half, but bounced back to throw for 349 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sony Michel and Damian Harris each fumbled once and each ran for a touchdown as well. The Eagles trounced the Chargers in Inglewood 40-14. Carson Wentz threw 4 touchdown passes and the defense came through, picking off Justin Herbert twice. The Giants fared no better in LA, falling to the Panthers 31-7. Teddy Bridgewater threw 3 touchdown passes, including one to Christian McCaffrey, who also had a 100-yard rushing day. In another blowout, Aaron Rodgers tossed 4 touchdown passes, and Aaron Jones racked up 105 rushing yards and a touchdown on 8 carries as the Bears couldn't do anything right. Mitchell Trubisky threw 2 picks, and the Bears were embarrassed at Soldier Field. Ryan Tannehill led a fourth quarter comeback in Jacksonville. The two teams combined for 986 offensive yards and 49 first downs in the game. Jags rookie quarterback Zach Monroe threw for 394 yards and 4 touchdowns, but it wasn't enough. Tannehill was surgical in the fourth quarter, and Tennessee won 38-35. Dan Quinn landed with the Jets this offseason, and he's celebrating his first win in New York. Sam Darnold played adequately, and the second-year man out of FIU, James Morgan, completed all 3 of his pass attempts, one for a touchdown, when Darnold left the game late with a stinger. Tua Tagovailoa had less than 150 passing yards, and Miami barely cracked 100 rushing yards in their home game against Las Vegas this week, but the Dolphins took advantage of 2 Raiders turnovers to edge their visitors out by a point. The Colts defended their home turf on Sunday against the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray had a tough outing, and the Colts' new starting quarterback Colin Kaepernick threw for 308 yards and 2 touchdowns as Indy improves to 2-1. The Chiefs finally are in the win column. We saw the Broncos blow a lead to Washington last time out, and they blew a 14-10 halftime lead at home this week against their AFC West rivals. Drew Lock's 3 interceptions were the biggest factor in the loss. The Texans and 49ers battled to the final gun in Houston this week. Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 4 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions, so a lot of good and a lot of bad. Deebo Samuel averaged less than 7 yards per catch, but he did find the end zone twice in the game. The Ravens and the Steelers had one of those epic AFC North battles we love to watch. Lamar Jackson is in the running for AFC Offensive Player of the Week after throwing for just shy of 400 yards and 5 touchdown passes. The two rivals combined for well over 1,000 total yards of offense, and it took overtime for the Ravens to win 40-34. And finally, the Saints and Bucks played in Week 1, and they've already gotten their second meeting of the year out of the way. New Orleans sweeping the season series against the Super Bowl 55 champions. Nick Mullins threw for 401 yards and 5 touchdowns in prime time Sunday night. Deontay Harris accounted for 8 catches, 157 yards, and 1 of those touchdowns. My name is Cory Puffett. If you've been enjoying my Madden 21 condensed gameplay videos, drop a like or a comment below and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you know when future videos are published. This has been 2021 regular season action. Join me next time as Washington faces its toughest test yet against the New Orleans Saints.